Okay.
We are live now.
Okay, awesome. So, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to our global LSE community. So, I'm Mina Ramaswamy, one of the faculty members here at the LSE School Leadership School of Communication. And it's my honor to be your host for today's orientation program. So, a moment that marks the beginning of an exciting and transformative journey. So, LSC, we believe in communication is just a skill, but it's a foundation of transformational leadership. So, that's what our theme is today, the power of communication of transformational leadership. So that will be reflected in every speaker and panel today and the moment we share. So let's start with an interactive warm up, right, to bring in your voices. So today, what we want to talk about is just an icebreaker, that one word that defines a leader. So please share in the chat what's one word that defines leadership for you, or let's hear from a few of you. Let's see. So, Dr. Chandram, are you there?
Yes. Hi, Veena. Yes, I'm there.
Hi.
And hi, I'm there and looking forward to this. This is our orientation program, and we
Mhm.
are also excited for this first very formal way of starting LSE.
Right.
And we are looking forward to the great, incredible speakers which are going to share their experiences on leadership with us. And yes, we are waiting for Mr. Shagun also to join so that he can start this whole orientation program. And yes, of course, over to you, Veena.
Mhm. So
Yes.
thank you so much, Chandrima. It's so nice to work with you. And it's just a really nice mission that we have, that all of us are working so hard to bring people together. So would love to hear from you, Chandrima. What's one word that would define leadership for you?
I think if I have to really pick one word for leadership, that is resilience. Because all of us face challenges. But in the face of challenges, what keeps you sane? What makes you lead? What are the mental stability? Uh, the resilience is, I think, one essential element to be a leader.
Hmm. Amazing. Yes. Yeah. So anything with leadership that, you're trying something new because you're trailblazing a new path, right? And you're going to have challenges, like you said, but coming back with power is very important. So for me, leadership is all about authenticity, right? And that's what I lead from, and also in my life, being true to yourself and paving the path for the new generation. So we'll love to hear more. So Evangelist, welcome. So glad to have you here. But we'd love to know more about you and what was that one word that would define a leader for you?
Well, what both of you said, and I'll add the word open. And the reason I say open is because to be available to learning more about yourself, that goes with your authenticity. And you have to be open to hearing what other people saying, because I'm a different person every day
Yes.
because I'm with you guys, and I will be hearing things that I had never heard before. And so now I'm thinking different today than I was this morning. If that makes sense.
Right.
So
Yeah.
always being
Exactly.
open to
Right.
learning more
Yes.
about yourself, discovering
Right.
who you are, and
Exactly.
then other people. Yeah.
Yeah, I love that. And even today, I'm learning every day. I'm learning from you, even the LSE community. So, yeah, I totally agree that you want to keep upgrading yourself every day. And that's how you learn and grow into a better leader. So, amazing. Thank you so much for your insight. And I see Rafael, if hopefully I'm pronouncing it correctly.
Yeah,
Okay, awesome.
good
Welcome.
morning or afternoon or evening. We are worldwide connection.
Yes.
So thank you for inviting me to this very nice academy, a very nice. Uh, I like to sit with people that have a future vision. So this, thank you first
Of
of all.
course.
Yeah, and my vision of leadership of and communication are like an attitude, is not a position.
Right.
So who is able to understand himself, then can speak his program, his vision, then he can transmit some values like trust, like vision,
Right.
also dreaming, because this is the way our human being is founded. So this
Right.
is few words.
Very nice. I love that. Yes.
Yeah.
And it comes from a place of kindness. I think when we talk to the LSE community, we believe in kindness, and everyone's here at different time zones doing this together. And we just want to bring some more leaders, and from a place of kindness and a mission, like you said, vision. I have a dream together that we can be united and help make that happen.
Yeah.
Right. So thank you so much for all of your
Thank you.
insights. This was amazing.
Thank you. Thank you.
And thank you so much for taking your time to join this today. And
Pleasure. Thank you.
insights. Awesome. So this was great. And yeah, so to officially open our session, it's my pleasure to introduce someone whose vision gave birth to this school. And I'm honored to even be on this LSE community because of him. So, global thought leader, educator, and architect of leadership transformation. So, please welcome our dean, Mr. Sigan Ilodi. Is Sigan here? Let me see if he's here. Okay. It looks like he's still backstage, so we'll kind of get him in a little bit in a minute. So yeah, so let's continue the icebreaker and sharing more questions. So is there anything else you would like to share, Vangelis or Raphael, in the meantime, that just kind of share with the community a little bit about who you are?
Yeah, I prepare a few words because I would like to present my vision.
Yeah.
I also prepare some slides. I don't know if I can present it. I can share.
So so we have your speaking slot in a minute, just to kind of maybe introduce yourself. for
Yeah,
like
yeah.
a minute. Yeah.
Yes, sure. I'm Raffaele Riccardi. I'm Italian lawyer. I have experience in as a lawyer in Italy, like 28 years in Italy, and now I'm living and working in Dubai last 4 years. I have experience in human resource. This is my main job. It was in Italy and still here I'm doing the same. Also so my job especially is the organization leadership for HR support in the big or medium-sized companies. I also have experience as a university teacher. I teach the labor law and HR management in Italy University of Naples, Federico II, and Rome, La Sapienza, that are the both important university as a professor. And I have also another curriculum. My CV is also as a musician.
Wow.
And I served for 4 years as a president, CEO of the Academy of School of Music in Italy. And so I try to connect all my knowledge as to promote interdisciplinary dialogues between music, educational, cultural policy, and also human resource. Because all of us, we are human. You are human. So we need to be connected each other. So I'm trying to do my best as using my experience, my knowledge as a professor, as a lawyer, and also as a CEO of the one company. Because now in Dubai, I'm running my company.
Nice.
So I'm trying to mix all this knowledge, all these skills
Right.
to improve myself every day, and also the team and the other partners, my partners here and in Italy too. It's a big job.
Yeah, I agree. Wow, that's amazing. So much talent, and I love that
No, not
music.
talent, just time spent on the chair. I think my best talent is I can sit for hours and hours without moving. This is my best talent.
You've done a lot of great stuff, brought so
Yeah, I
many
don't need
other
to eat.
talents
I don't
and
need to move too
gifts.
much.
So thank you so much for all that you do. It's such an honor to have you here, and we'd love to know more about your journey very soon. So thank you so much for that amazing introduction. So let's go to Evangelist right now and just a quick intro, like a 90-second intro.
Sure. I have been in the technology world for 46 years. I have been an executive in several startups and consulting for large companies, and always on the leading edge. Back in 1995, when the internet was just starting out, I was connecting companies all over the world. And then when voice came over and video, all the stuff that we're doing here, and working with cable, artificial intelligence, working with the military. So I've done a lot of stuff there, and I like what he said. I really wanted to play music. I took 10 years of musical piano, and I was playing with studio musicians when I was 17. But part of what I also want to talk about today, when we talk about leaders, I'll get into it, is, are you doing really you? Are you being you?
Exactly.
I didn't follow my dreams. I did what everyone else told me to do. I got into technology, but this is all part of our experience of life. So,
Right, right. Amazing. And I love that you said that because it really resonates with me. And I'm also getting into music because similar thing that I'm focused on leadership. I feel like you can also be yourself through music, right? And I actually sing and I dance, and I'm getting more into that. So that's amazing that you guys are, really embracing that other side of you. It's, leadership can be in all aspects of it. So that's amazing. And yes, I think I learned leadership when it came to staying true to myself. That's how I became a true leader, because everyone has different definitions of that. But a true leadership is following your heart, right? And following your path. And, a lot of people are going to say, do this and do that. But what's your purpose, right? Really going inward. So I love that. So thank you so much for sharing your intro, and amazing. So next, I see Dunstan Pereira on here. So love to know more about you. If you can come video. Hi, how are you?
I'm good.
Welcome to LSC. Love to know more about you. Honored to have you here.
Thank you so much. Greetings, everyone. And my name is Dunstan, and I am currently working as the CEO, Group CEO, to the Family Office of His Highness Sheikh Ahmad bin Faisal Al Qasmi, who belongs to the ruling family of Ras Al Khaimah and Sharjah, which are the two of the 7 emirates in UAE. I'm basically from India, and I come with an experience of about 40 years in the corporate at different levels, including C-level. And currently, I'm on a journey which is quite unique, in the sense working with the family office, the family members of the UAE. It opened up a lot of new thoughts, something which I've never seen in my life. I learned a lot about humanity. I learned a lot of as how these people are showing affection and care to the others, the other humankind. I think that is something which has opened my eyes working with this family. And we are currently engaged in building a destination in Ras Al Khaimah. We are bringing in billion-dollar projects, around 6 to 7 mega projects in Ras Al Khaimah, which is like, to name a few, a film city, a pharmaceutical city, sports academy, wildlife sanctuary, the moon city, and many more like this. In addition to this responsibility, I am also working as the senior advisor to the president of Botswana, and I'm also working or aligned with more than 15 NGOs in India and Africa, trying to support them in many ways. So this is a brief about what I am.
Mhm.
Looking forward to engage further.
Amazing. Thank you so much for all that you do. And yes, my parents are from India, so a lot of great stuff coming forward and a lot of global initiatives. So I'm just so proud of all of you coming here and, giving so much of your talent and effort into these initiatives. So, and thank you so much for all coming here for LSC and sharing your insights. So
Thank you.
amazing. So love the intros for everyone. So let me see what's next. Chandrima, do you want to kind of give an intro about yourself a little bit?
Hi, I'm Dr. Chandrima Chatterjee. I'm based out of Dubai. Once again, I have to start by thanking Dean Shegun for offering us this wonderful platform to come and build something absolutely wonderful. It's the need of the hour to really work towards building leaders of tomorrow. Okay, I am an entrepreneur, and I have few companies, and I think that is enough to say. Well, my companies have various interests. So we are into trading, shipping and logistics, um, management consultancy, business setups. So that's what I do, and above everything, I have three wonderful daughters. I'm a mother before anything else, and I'm very happy and proud to be a mother. Yes, that's all about me. Yeah, and I'm really looking forward to building this platform together with our wonderful faculty members and everybody else.
Amazing, Chandrima. Awesome. So yes, it's a blessing to be a mother for sure. And so much success for you moving forward. And yes,
Sometimes uh, this is the biggest, I when anybody says talk about yourself, I don't know what to say. I'm into too many things and do too many things, but when anybody asks me, tell us something about yourself, that's the worst question that I
yeah,
can encounter.
yeah.
I don't know what to say.
I feel the
so,
same
I,
way.
so I
Yeah.
really hope that I've been able to communicate well. Uh, but it's enough to know that yeah, I'm into business. I'm based in Dubai, and yeah, yes.
Thank you so much. It's amazing. It was so nice to meet you and getting to know you through the LSC journey
Thank you,
so
Veena.
far. It's
Thank
been
you.
amazing.
Thank you
Thank
so
you so
much.
much for your
Same here.
efforts.
Yes.
It's you and I with the faculty member and Shigun. Shigun's been like I've been talking to for so long, and it's just been amazing so far.
Yes.
So thank you so much. And yeah, so a little bit about me. I know I didn't introduce myself as much, but I'm Vina. I'm based in the U.S. Near the Washington D.C. area. So leadership is, I've had 3 career transitions in my life, but knowing that I kind of did work on my spiritual journey, my, personal growth, my professional journey. And I realized that I always stayed true to myself and I followed my soul's calling and my mission in life. My purpose and it brought me here to be a true leader. And, my mission is to help others reach their full potential and become the leader they're meant to be. And I started my company 3 years ago as an executive coach, and now I do B2B consulting for bigger companies now. So I'm just very happy to be part of the LSC group and form the next generation of leaders moving forward. So awesome. So this is great. And yeah, so let's just get started on what LSC is all about. So is Christy Taylor backstage? Okay. So there are some people who are still getting ready backstage. So Now that Dunstan is here, I would love to kind of introduce your keynote speaking. Right. So it's now time to open that up, and it's a big one. So joining us from UAE, Danson has already given his amazing intro, but a global leader whose career embodies diplomacy, vision, and influence, serves as the CEO of the Royal Office of Sheikh Ahmed bin Faisal Al-Qasisi. So please welcome Ambassador Dunstan, and he'll guide us through how communication becomes a tool of transformation in global leadership. Welcome.
Good evening, everyone. On behalf of Sheikh Ahmed bin Faisal Al Qasimi, I would like to thank the management and of Leadership School of Communication for the invite and wish all the very best to the participants for this orientation program of the Leadership School of Communication. As we all know, this event marks the beginning of a unique academic journey where aspiring leaders will be nurtured to master the art and science of impactful communication in leadership contexts. Effective communication stands as the cornerstone of transformational leadership, serving as the vehicle through which leaders inspire, motivate, and elevate their teams to achieve extraordinary outcomes. Transformational leaders exhibit charisma, intellectual stimulation, individualized consideration, and inspirational motivation. They inspire innovation, creativity, and change by setting high expectations, empowering their team, providing support and guidance, and challenging their followers to reach their full potential. This leadership approach emphasizes collaboration, trust, and the development of a positive organizational culture. Communication plays a pivotal role during times of transformation. It serves as a crucial tool for navigating the complexities and challenges that comes with a change. Why is communication so powerful for transformational leaders? We will see some aspects of it as to how they do it, or what are the methodologies they adopt. By vision articulation, transformational leaders use communication to paint compelling pictures of the future. They don't just state goals or directions, they create vivid narratives that help team members see, feel, and believe in the shared vision. Emotional connection. Through authentic, emotionally intelligent communication, transformational leaders build trust and psychological safety. They listen actively, express empathy, and create spaces where people feel valued and understood. Motivation and inspiration. Powerful communicators know how to use language, tone, and storytelling to tap into internal motivations. They recognize and celebrate achievements while challenging team members to grow beyond perceived limitations. This is an important aspect of transformation leaders, that motivation and inspiring the team is highly, highly important in any environment, any ecosystem. Cultural shaping. Leaders communicate values through both words and actions consistently. Their communication patterns establish norms, reinforce desired behaviors, and shape organizational culture over time. Adaptive messaging. Transformation leaders tailor their communication style to different audiences and situations, knowing when to direct versus collaborative, when to speak versus listen, and how to adjust their message for a maximum impact. Similarly, two-way engagement. True transformational communication isn't monologic, but it is dialogic. It creates feedback loops where ideas flows in all directions, fostering innovation and collective innovation. The most effective transformational leaders recognize that communication isn't just about transmitting information, it's about creating meaning, building relationships, and unlocking human potential. When mastered, communication becomes the alchemy that turns ordinary leadership into extraordinary transformational influence. Leaders who wish to drive high performance must do more than communicate clearly. They must connect with their workforce on an emotional level through transformational communication strategies grounded in research, which I have mentioned a few above. While not a substitute for action, transformational communication represents a powerful tool for any leader seeking to engage their people through a shared vision and purpose. Those who lead with passion, vision, and care and drive for growth will cultivate the dedication required to excel as great leaders. I take this opportunity to wish you all the very best for all the success in this journey, and may you all become great leaders in the future. Thanking you so much.
Amazing. Thank you so much for that. That was just very insightful. And of course, leadership does require that emotional intelligence aspect of it. So thank you so much for your keynote. A lot of great stuff. And thank you so much for your time. Awesome. So is Shigan there? Shigan.
I saw him coming in, but
Yeah.
here he is. Now he is.
Yes, yes. Hi, Shigan. Shigan, are you there? Okay. I think there's just a little delay, so we'll continue to the next. So okay. So now let's explore the heartfelt of the Leadership School of Communication, the curriculum. So whether you're here for a certificate or an executive diploma, or simply to sharpen your leadership lens, we're crafted a world-class learning experience. So here to walk us through is our head of curriculum, Dr. Innocent Hurry. I think he wanted to join. Okay. In the meantime, so let's go to the next speaker. So leadership isn't about titles, it's about influence. And communication is its lifeblood. So joining us now is Dr. Rafael Riccardi, faculty member of the University of Rome, an expert in leadership development and interpersonal psychology. So let's welcome him for a powerful vision talk on how leaders create authentic influence through intentional communication. Welcome, Dr. Rafael.
Thank you. Thank you. I prepared some slide. Can I present it? I
Yes.
try to.
Yes, of course.
Yeah, 1 minute. I found it. It's downloading. Just to support my speech with some images. Yeah, I don't know if you can see it. Can you help me? Because it's quite small.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how to.
William, are you there? William, can you please assist?
Okay, we can see it now.
Yeah.
Yep.
Perfect.
Yes,
Yeah.
perfect.
So thank you. Thank you for inviting me to sit with you to reflect together on this. That is very important, and is the meaning of the human organization. That is the leadership. Yeah. So the leadership is a human practice for me. I'm just trying to give you my opinion. This is really a personal opinion, but it comes from my 32 years experience like lawyer and consultant. So the main point that leadership for me is a skill, is not a throne, is not a chair, is because not all the managers are leader, but not all the leaders need to be managers. This is one key point, because leadership, as we understand it now, is I told you, is not a position, but is a set of actions, attitudes, and principles. According to current organization studies, like while over 80% of companies recognize the importance of developing the leadership at all the levels, but less than half feel prepared to do this. So this gap reveals a challenge and also an opportunity. So let's go ahead. Yeah, in the last, I think, 20 years, there has been a shift from the top-down authority to participative leadership. This is a model that is it found that the most important that this decision making is a collective, is not imposed from the top. So if a system is built on the dialogue, it will work. Employees doesn't just need to follow instruction, they help shape them. So this shift enhances job satisfaction, increases innovation, and nurturance engagement. So like effective leaders demonstrate a constellation of qualities. The classics still hold that I banned here, like clarity in communication, decisiveness, integrity, fairness, and strategic delegation. But in today's environment, we must also add, as my colleague before told, emotional intelligence, cultural literacy, and the ability to foster inclusion. I would like to introduce my experience, because thanks to my background in music, we can use like one metaphor, that is the conductor of an orchestra. The conductor doesn't play any instrument, yet he shapes the interpretation. He defines tempo, dynamics, and tension. But the success of the performance depends on the sensitive discipline and professional of every single musician. So one orchestra does not work because everyone reads only the score. They are just not following the notes on the score, but they listen to each other, they adjust and trust the shared vision from themselves, from the other colleagues, and the vision of the conductor. So a leader cannot expect to control every details. This is the main point. So CEO, CFO, all the rules, the management rules, they need to understand that their role is create the condition for everyone and give their best together in harmony with the collective project. This is a kind of leadership that guides without imposing, that unifies without flattening. And just like in music, what emerges is always greater than the sum of each part. From the HR lens, because For example, as my experience in HR, leadership is not about charisma or an abstract potential. It is something observable, measurable, and rooted in behaviors. This is why in modern recruitment and evaluation practice, we no longer really or generic or theoretical questions. Instead, we delve into competence through specific and largest examples. Like, for example, we ask, tell me about a time you faced a situation of intense pressure where the outcome was beyond on control. Why did you do? How did you communicate with your team? Or, for example, describe a moment when you had to take initiative in a disorganized environment. How did you bring structure and clarity? So the answer to this question reveal more than a resume could. They show how a person behaves when things fall apart, when ambiguity replaces certainty, and when people look not for instruction, but for orientation. That is when really leadership emerge, not in titles, but in responses. One of the most critical competencies we observe is communication, not just the ability to speak clearly, but the ability to listen attentively, to interpret the silence, to paraphrase accurately, and to adapt language to different individuals and contexts. For example, a leader who can de-escalate a conflict between departments by reframing each party's concerns in a way that the other can accept, demonstrating not only communication skills, but also emotional intelligence and strategic awareness. So HR is not just about filling rules, but is about identify who can contribute to long-term culture and strategic direction of the organization. And communication, it's all in all dimension, is often the most reliability indicator of that potential. Evaluation as a culture practice. For me, evaluating leadership should not be an act of surveillance. It should be a culture practice rooted in trust, clarity, and mutual growing. The purpose of a leadership evaluation is not to judge, but is understand. It's not about catching mistake. It's about identify patterns. And most importantly, it's about giving leaders the opportunity to see themselves through the eyes of those they serve. A well-designed manager evaluation today is not a formally, it's a conversation. It's ask mindful question. For example, does this leader truly listen, or do they merely wait for their turn to speak? Do they build moral, or do they drain it with passive control on unpredictable behaviors? So in advanced organization model, we know it's important to adopt a full wide feedback frameworks that integrate perspective from peers, direct reports, and even external stakeholders. So this approach brings a kind of pluralism into leadership development, breaking the illusion that the authority alone validates behavior. When done well, this evaluation fosters accountability without blame and improvement without humiliation. For this reason, the feedback process must be framed not as a verdict, but as a mirror that reflects not just outcomes, but one method. Not just what the leader achieved, but how they achieve it. So it's important to understand, let's go ahead, that the organizational leadership differs from the traditional management in both spirits and scales. So the traditional management set targets, tracks tasks, and ensure compliance. The organizational leader, by contrast, shapes cultural, inspired purpose, and model values. They cannot individual potential without collective vision. In short, the manager oversees, the leader ignites. So I want to introduce, and I'm going to finish, the spread of mediocrity. This is, I'm a European, and I really know how is bad this vision. I read like 5-6 years ago one nice book. This was the title is Mediocrity. The author is Alain Deneault, is a Canadian guy. He make one survey, and he understood that in many organizations today, especially in the public sector, we are witnessing the rise of what is called mediocrity, the silent triumph of the average. You can see here the picture of the medium in the perfect in the middle. This is a system where real merit is often overshadowed by conformity, where genuine talent is seen as disruptive, and where the safest choice is favored over the best one. Why is this happening? Because organizations, particularly large and bureaucracy one, tend to renew predictable over innovation and procedural compliance over creative contribution. Mediocrity thrives in environment that fear risk and discourage dissent. It leads to leadership rules being assigned not to the most capable, but to the least controversial. And when this happens, vision gives way to routine, and initiative is replaced by inertia. So, going to the ending of my speech, leadership without vision is like a compass without a needle. The leader must see not only what is, but what could be, and communicate that vision really in a clear way. But vision is not enough. It must complete with storytelling. We need, why? Because facts inform, but stories inspires. Leaders tell the story of the organization as a shared journey where everyone has a part to play and a reason to take care of the company. And of course, participation is not easy. It takes time. It complicates the process. It invites dissent and disagreement. It requires that we, as a leader, we don't like the comfort, to be in comfort zone, like unilateral decision in favor of something far more demanding shared responsibility. Participative leadership means listening when it would be quicker to decide, integrating perspective that may challenge our own, and accepting then consensus is really immediately. Yeah, this is difficult. It's very, because the participation slows things down, don't clarify as not the best way, the quickly way. But when people are involved in decision, they understand them, they commit to them, they anticipate problems and co-create solutions. In this sense, participative leadership is not inefficient, it's a preventive way. It's build alignment before the crisis, not after it. But we need to be realistic. This approach is not suitable for every situation. There are some moments, especially under pressure, when a leader must need to act decisively and bear the weight of the decision alone. So the participative model is not about permanent democracy. It's about knowing when to open the circle and when to narrow it. It's about cultivating a culture of dialogue. So when quick decisions are needed, they are informed by previous listening. So going to finish, this is what I'm trying to explain. So how can we start? Where do we can begin? So the first way, the only way is practice. We must to be practice what we are preach by holding space for feedback, by modeling the behaviors we want to see, and above all, remembering that leadership isn't about being in charge, it's about taking care of those you're in charge. When we listen, when we trust, when we share responsibility, we lead. So the final reflection is I would like that after this meeting, maybe it's not enough, but our idea, I think all the participants of this meeting would like to put some seeds to resist, to avoid, and a temptation to reduce the leadership to a set of techniques and checklists of competencies. So true leadership is a moral and intellectual responsibility. It requires presence of mind, clarity of purpose, and above all, an honest relationship with reality, however uncomfortable that may be. So it demands that we listen more than we speak, that we recognize the intelligence in others, and that we make space for disagreement without perceiving it as a threat. So this is, I would like to thank you another time, and best wishes from Raffaele Riccardi. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you so much. That was amazing. Such a powerful presentation. So many valuable insights. And I do agree that a lot of people think leadership is about titles and taking charge, but we are changing that narrative. And it's very important to understand that we have to embody. Right. So true leaders, practice what we preach is so important that every single day we want to focus on how do we embody those values. Right. So understand that we have a compass and a direction, like a mission, and then embody those values for ourselves, and then showcase that and help that for our team members. So that commitment is such an important part that you did mention that I want to talk about, because it's like a team effort. It's not just for us, but committed to our growth and our leadership helps kind of form that community, right? And then that global leadership. So thank you so much. I loved it. I really hope that helped all the participants. So amazing. Awesome. So I would like to kind of introduce a little bit more about my faculty members. I'm a little bit part of the LSE community. So we'll love to have Dr. Innocent on stage. So as mentioned before, so he's the head of curriculum for the LSE, the Leadership School of Communication. So whether here for a certificate, we have 3 types of diplomas. Whether you want to sharpen your leadership lens, he'll be talking more about that today. So just for 5-10 minutes. Dr. Innocent, are you there? Okay, looks like he left. So we'll have the next one come in. So that will have Christy. So welcome, Christy. So a little bit introduction about our culture, community, and DEI at LSE, that department. So leadership thrives in a community, and here at LLC, we've cultivated a global ecosystem built on connection and contribution and growth. So from dynamic clubs to like speaker series to leadership labs and global summits that we'll be having, your experience will be rich with opportunities. So to tell us more about our inclusive culture and the diversity, equity, and inclusion efforts, we'll welcome the head of DEI at LLC, Ms. Christy Taylor.
Yes, my name is Dr. Christy Taylor, and I'm so excited to be supporting the students here at LSC. And as Dina pointed out, our commitment to students. So what I want to be sharing just really quickly in the next 5 or 10 minutes is just a little bit of how we seek to cultivate the culture here, because throughout history, Master for Communication has really been a defining instrument of influential leadership. You have figures like Mahatma Gandhi, Nelson Mandela, and Abraham Lincoln, who have yielded communication as a powerful force of inspiration, foster belonging, and to transform society. So here at the Leadership School of Communication, we recognize that communication is not only a tool for leadership, but it's the very foundation of it. And our commitment to preparing globally conscious leaders necessitates an equally strong commitment to advancing diversity, equity, inclusion, and belonging here at LSC. And that is why I'm so excited to really be a part of this team. And we have already established the vision about how we're going to cultivate and shape that culture for our students. So I serve as the lead for the LSC DEI committee, and we really exist to cultivate a globally inclusive learning environment where diverse voices are not only heard, but also empowered. And it is through the intentional programming, as Vina mentioned, cultural fluency and strategic outreach, that we aim to elevate equity, embrace intersectionality, and lead with empathy and communication, education, and practices. And at the heart of that is the ideology of belonging. Now, as part of our commitment here to DEI and cultivating diverse mindsets, we aim to become a global model for inclusive leadership, education, by shaping communicators who use their voices to elevate equity, foster belonging, and influence change across industries and cultures. So I want to talk a little bit about our commitment to our student body as we go through this process. Now, we are really committed to creating an educational experience where all students, regardless of their race, gender, nationality, ability, religion, and socioeconomic status or identity, that our students feel seen, respected, and equipped to lead. And so as part of that commitment, here's the things that we are committed to doing through our committee and work with LSC. First of all, we're going to focus on fostering inclusive classrooms that really reflect and respect diverse perspectives. And as you can see from all of the great leaders and events that we've been able to bring in for the past few weeks, that we work collaboratively. We enjoy fostering critical thinking through diverse mindsets. And that is part of, again, our goals here. We also focus on ensuring that global communication styles and cultural differences are celebrated, and providing support systems and mentoring pathways for students from underrepresented and international backgrounds. And so over the course of, as we launch the programming here at LSC, you will see that we are doing intentional work to make sure that our students are represented and that we're offering mentoring support. So it's not just what's happening in the classroom, but there'll be events like what's happening today, like the leadership boot camp last week. That'll be something that's ongoing. Our goal in we really aim to really engage students in shaping policies, programming, and community practices. So the DEI committee is not just something that exists within the faculty body. We'll be asking for student input and collaboration. You'll have input on our programmings, and you'll also see, which we already have a great instructional design team, and in fact, which I'm sure has spoke earlier. But when it comes to the course content, all of our course content and faculty practices really embrace diversity in the DEI concept, and we're going to be providing resources to students that reflect this global and multicultural realities of today's leadership landscape. Before I wrap up, I want to just quickly kind of highlight what our pillars are, because our pillars are really in alignment with the mission that we have here at LSC, which is, again, inclusive curriculum pedagogy, global engagement and belonging, accessible communication, the diverse representation in our leadership, fostering difficult conversations, and cultural competency and awareness with regards to dialogue, belonging, and community building. Now, we are really rooted in our core values when it comes to every voice being seen, being heard, leading with empathy, equity, transparency, and fostering this ideology of global citizenship by learning from each other. So, a little bit of the things that we have committed ourselves to is that we're going to expand inclusive leadership workshops. Those are some of the things that we'll be offering. We want to create a faculty fellows program, launch an annual DEIB symposium, as well as work on formalizing mentorship programs that are really focused on fostering that level of diversity. Now, I would not be remiss here if I did not mention some of our student clubs that we have to bring that into to the light, right? So we're going to be launching things like the Public Speaking and Debate Club, our Advocacy Club, our Future Voices Club, the Media and Content Creation Club, as well as the Entrepreneur and Startup Club, and finally, our Leadership in the Arts Club. So here at LSC, we have something for everyone, and we have different initiatives to get people engaged. Now, with all of these initiatives, we'll also be working with faculty to make sure that we're measuring our impact. So you'll see us around. I'm just so excited to celebrate some of the many initiatives that we have here. Thank you so much, Vina, for allowing me to speak today.
Amazing. Thank you so much for Christy for speaking on LSC community and the DEI so much. So excited for everything and the whole entire, community and group for bringing this together. So I'm also excited and love your energy. So we're all very excited here. So thank you so much for the brief introduction of what's going to be happening during the orientation. Yeah. Amazing. So next up, just like we have Christy as a DEI lead, we have, again, Dr. Innocent Hurry, which is the head of curriculum. And he'll just come be walking you through that department and what we're going to have over there. Welcome, Dr. Innocent. We'll just give him a few minutes. Just a little bit of technical delays.
Vina, can you hear me? Okay.
Yeah, we can see you.
Oh,
We
thank
can
you.
hear
Thank you for having me.
Mhm.
Yeah, good afternoon from here. Good afternoon, everyone. I don't know if you can hear me.
Yes, we can.
So,
Good afternoon.
Rare Queen. Thank you very much for having me. Well done, Vina, for the awesome work you're doing. All right, I'm Innocent Owo in Nigeria, Lagos, Nigeria. I'm a management consultant. And over the last 2 years, I've played in the education industry, from teaching to coaching, mentoring, training, consulting, and all. I'm here to talk about Leadership Communication LLC briefly and talk about the curriculum because curriculum is very important. What shapes, the course and check the course, the learning activities and teaching activities. It is important that we are integrated with what school LLC has to offer. The LLC is Leadership School of Communication and has this motto of master your voice, command and lead the future. The place of communication, leadership cannot be overemphasized because if leaders are not able to communicate, they will not be able to share their visions, not able to, transmit their mind, their vision, their ideology to those they are leading. So communication is key, is the vehicle that drives vision, drives. So that's the essence of the programs we offer at Leadership Communication. Leaders will not be able to get excited of their followers if they are not able to communicate their visions accordingly. Communication is the bedrock of leadership, and it is vital for you know, passing down visions, ideologies, inspiring action, inspiring buy-ins, like I said earlier. So without communication, leaders will not be able to guide, they will not be able to mentor, they will not be able to lead properly. Now, here at LSC, Leadership School of Communication, we have a number of courses, very robust curriculum that have been carefully and strategically selected in order to produce leaders who will be visionary, transformational, inspiring, and leaders who will, be unique in their approach to their leadership styles and activities. So the programs, the courses we have at LLC, such that if any leader takes those courses, he or she will have a paradigm shift in his or her leadership because the courses are so rich, so robust, and very, very strategic. Now we have three basic programs. We have certificate course, we have certificate course, and then we have the diploma courses, certificate courses, diploma courses, and then we also have the executive diploma courses or program. So certificate program lasts for 3 months. 3 months, and we have topics like self-awareness and personal development. Of course, what is a leader or what is leadership without personal development? So we have understanding your weaknesses and values under self-awareness. We have introduction to management and leadership. We have self-leadership, strategic decision making, teamwork and collaboration, introduction to communication theory, ethical communication, interpersonal communication, crisis communication, intercultural communication, visual communication, basic writing skills, fundamentals of public speaking, introduction to integrated marketing, and all that. So you see, these courses are very rich, very robust, very strategic, and anyone who goes through them can never remain the same, both as an individual, as a person, as a leader. Then from there we have the diploma courses. Diploma courses, the program lasts for 6 months, a period of 6 months, and some of the courses we have in the diploma programs are purpose-driven leadership. What is leadership without purpose, without intentionality? We have purpose-driven leadership. We have innovative and strategic leadership. We have leading through uncertainty. Then we have context and cultural sensitivity. And then we have internal communication. Another is change management. These are various courses that when you go through them, there must be some transformation, some shift in you, and some paradigm shift in your leadership approach and style. You have communication and fostering positive workplace culture. You have persuasive communication. You have techniques for influencing and motivating others. We have group communication and team dynamics. Then we have media relations. So that the courses cut across several areas and several aspects. These are courses that will help you to fit in properly, fit in deeply, fit in effectively into every environment and be able to lead with capacity, with sagacity, and being able to mobilize, galvanize team members and followers and achieve the expected results and all that. We also have courses like basic media literacy, understanding bias, and how to become more informed and all that. Content creation strategy. You can imagine as a leader, if you're able to create content, but there are strategies for that. So the course at LLC, content creation and strategies. So we have data analysis, data visualization, and business intelligence. This course alone is very heavy. Data analysis techniques, data visualization, and business intelligence. That's very powerful. As a leader, you can't work without data. Working without data is more like working blindly. So it that means data, statistics, and you need to understand the technique for such. And then data visualization, what about business intelligence? So the leader should have business intelligence for how to, you know, handle, manage, administrate, or whatever a business. There is an intelligence for that. This is called as LLC under the diploma program. So these are very rich and robust courses that can, you know, make a leader so intentional and transformational and will be able to deliver in any sector, in any environment. Therefore, I said, even in the religious sector, in secular, in everywhere you find yourself, this courses will prepare you for the future, prepare you for the present, and prepare you for every leadership role in any sector, even in government sector. That is how rich and robust this courses are. So if you are a leader or you are you know, aspiring leader, you cannot wait. You cannot hesitate to take up these courses. Start with the certificate, from there you progress to diploma courses or diploma program, and then from there you move to executive. So we also have a number of courses under the executive program. The executive program lasts for 1 year, and the courses are also very rich and strategic. We have courses like visionary and transformational. We have agile. We have leading geographically dispersed teams. If you are leading people who are in different locations, different environments, different countries and continents of the world, how are you able to organize, how are you able to reach them? Leading geographically dispersed teams. That's the course at LLC under the executive program. We also have project planning, execution, monitoring, and control. So you can imagine that means taking up these courses already, you need to have some abilities and some knowledge of project management, PM, project management. So you'll be able to plan, project planning, execution, monitoring. You know that in leadership, there are times you will have to carry out a project, execute a project with your team. How do you plan? How do how do you execute it? How do you monitor and control? This is the essence of this course. Still about the executive, as a name implies, executive. Executive diploma programs, we have empathy and emotional intelligence, EI. How do you sympathize with the people who you are leading? How do you put yourself in their shoes? How do you understand their situation, their peculiarities, their challenges, and all of that? And then how do you relate to them and without issues, while you still be effective in delivering your leadership mandate? It is when you understand empathy and intelligence. So this is a course in the executive diploma. You can wait to go through these courses. We also have another course in the diploma program tagged communication styles and how to navigate intercultural interactions. That's always a style for communication. There's always a place for navigation in communication when you are dealing with people who are from different cultural backgrounds and the interaction all that. How will you be able to navigate with it? You don't have knowledge of that. So LLC under the diploma program, we have a course on that. What about understanding public policy, governance, and public sector management? So I asserted earlier that the person at LLC can prepare you for any leadership position, any leadership role, anywhere, even in the government parastatal. This person can prepare you for it. Look at this understanding public policy, governance, and public sector management. That's the course under executive diploma. We also have competitive strategy. If you are a leader, a business see some in this executive program, you see an infusion of business into leadership in some of the courses. There's an infusion of business, governance, corporate culture into some of these courses. So that's why you need to put them. People who are manning positions, in the government sector and in some big organizations. This is the course for you. You are a manager, you are a director, you are a CEO, you are a general overseer, whatever you are, but you are handling a good position. This is the right program for you. Executive diploma courses. So we have competitive strategy as a course. We have disruptive innovation. What is leadership in the first century without innovation? And not just innovation, but disruptive innovation. Because the kind of innovation that disrupts the narrative, that will disrupt the status quo, that will cause a shift, a major shift, a paradigm in whatever sector that you are, operating or working in. So we have those courses. We have entrepreneurial management. Yes, leadership and entrepreneurship go together. As a leader, you are an entrepreneur. You are managing, a group of people. You are managing a company. You are managing an organization. You are managing a school. You are managing a church. So you are an entrepreneur. So entrepreneurial management. And we also have a course under this executive program called Global Communication Strategy. As a leader who is not just thinking local, even if you are operating local, but you have a global mindset and a global perspective, how will you be able to, communicate? What are the strategies needed for you to communicate across borders, across continents, and across intercultural, interaction? So global communication strategies is very, very important. It's a course that you can actually take and prepare
Dr.
yourself
Innocent,
for being.
there's some noises. There's a voice
And
disturbance.
then you have negotiation and persuasion. You see, and that's an aspect of business. You have public relation and reputation management. You have crisis management and conflict resolution issues. Hello, I'm sorry if I'm still here. I'm trying to round up. So, we have a course on crisis management. At some point in your leadership journey, there might be crisis, there might be conflict. So, you need to learn how.
Dr. Innocent, please work on your sound. It's very bad, please.
Yeah, there's some noise disturbance.
I think it's the network. There is
We're getting an
no
echo.
issue with my sound here. I think it's the network. I guess it's the network. Maybe I'll just. There's no issue with the sound. I guess it's the network. So let me just try to round up. So crisis management, conflict resolution. These are courses, design thinking
There's
for
still a lot of
leaders.
noise.
Leadership and financial analysis, sustainability and corporate social responsibility. So these are some of the courses. What about digital leadership and technological integration? So these are courses that will help you. When we say digital leadership, we're talking about how you can, infuse or leverage social media technologies, email, video conferencing, online collaboration tools, and all of that to go about your leadership activity. So we have a very rich and robust curriculum at LLC, both at the certificate diploma and executive diploma program. So I want to urge everyone at whatever capacity or level of leadership you are operating. It is important that you take advantage of our courses and then join us. You'll be empowered. You'll be empowered. Thank you so much. I think I'll stop here for now.
All right. Thank you so much, Dr. Innocent, for the rundown of the header curriculum. And thank you because I'm one of the heads of the executive diploma. So I'm so honored. So thank you so much. Amazing. So how's everything? How is everyone liking this so far, the orientation? No worries. It happens. The network glitches. But thank you so much for taking your time and coming here. Awesome. So yeah, our dean and the man behind it, who created LSC, is here. Dr. Shegan, welcome. We'd love to have you speak for 5-10 minutes on the school. Shegan, are you there?
Do you want me to come in? Okay.
Welcome.
Yes.
Thank you so much for being here. And
Yes. It's nice having every one of you. Yes. Thank you very much, Vina. It's nice having every one of you present this afternoon, morning, anywhere you are watching us from in different parts of the world. First and foremost, I want to appreciate every one of you, faculty members of Leadership School of Communication, the inaugural students of Leadership School of Communication, and every other person who has decided to be part of this family. So, and we are using this opportunity to welcome you. I don't have much to say, just to welcome you and to appreciate you. You agree with me that at any point in time, leadership is all about impact. And at LXC, we see leadership is more than just title or position. And when we say title or position, so that's how some people see themselves. When they have positions, when they have titles, they see themselves leaders. But leadership is more than that. It's all about impact. How much impact are you making in the boardroom, in the community, in the society, in the country where you are? So many people have got it wrong when it comes to leadership. They see leadership as something where they are occupying a particular position, and because they occupy such position, so they don't bother about the legacy or the impact they are going to leave behind in the lives of people they are leading. It is not leadership is more than just following trends too. It's all about creating the future that generation now and generation coming we live to enjoy. So leadership is more about, it's more than just speaking. It's about communication, communicating with clarity, with conviction, and with compassion. So how much are you doing with that as leaders? So as at LSC, we go beyond just making you to feel that you are in charge or you are in position of authority. So, and because of that, you can do all. There is more to leadership than all that you have learned. And if all that you have learned is what you feel that you need to know, I tell you, when you come to LSC, you'll be surprised that there is more to learn that will make you to be a better leader, in any, whether in the boardroom, in your community, or in the society. Today, we have students that joining the family, and they are the pioneering students. You agree with me, this is the first time we're having occasion like this, and LSC is just LS is just bettered, and we are here to do something great, something that generations coming will live long to remember. So thanks for joining us, all the guests, the faculty members, and the students. We believe that with this, you are in for extraordinary time of your life that you will not forget in a hurry. Welcome once again. Thank you very much, and God bless.
Thank you so much, Shigan. Honored to have you start this and all the guests and faculty members. And I do agree, with leadership is all about making an impact in just any small way and just bringing everyone together. And whether that's your presence, the insights you have, a community. So all that's very important. So thank you so much, Dean Shigun. So let's have the next speaker today. And the next speaker will be, so our final keynote will be about global perspective and deeper impact, right? So please welcome Mr. Richard Kasela, member of Tanzania's National Executive Council and District Commissioner. So he'll be speaking on the vital connection between communication, ESG, and global leadership influence.
Hello.
Hi, happy to have you here. Thank you so much for joining.
Thank you. How are you all? Thank you for inviting me. As you have said, my name is Richard Atufigwege Kasesela, born and raised in Tanzania, my beautiful country, which has a great attractions, including wildlife. If you want to enjoy the wildlife, you come to Tanzania. A great mountain, the biggest mountain in Africa, the tallest one, Mount Kilimanjaro, as well as a lot of good beaches. My brief history is I'm currently elected member of the National Executive Committee, which is for the ruling party, which we make all the decision for the country. But as well as a district commissioner, which is also a presidential appointment, as well as I've been chairing the mining advisory board for almost 5 years. It has been a great honor for me to present leadership school on this leadership school of communication scholars, where the mission is to shape the future ready leaders and to make them be more powerful so that they can lead this world. I'd like to start with telling the group that leadership is not about titles or decisions. It's about influence, integrity, and impact. The heart of the great leadership is the ability to connect, to truly reach people, align teams, and inspire the action. And that's where the communication becomes not just a tool, but a bridge between vision and reality. Over the course of my life journey, I've learned that what sets exceptional leaders apart is not their authority, but their authenticity. People respond not just to what you say, but how consistently your word reflects your values. When you speak with clarity, courage, and honesty, even under uncertainty, you build a trust. Trust is the best currency for leadership. But authenticity comes with communications. It seems easy, but it requires a lot of vulnerability. First, it means admitting when you don't have all the answers. You must admit that I don't have all the answers. It means listening deeply, not just respond, but understand. It means showing up fully, consistently, and with a purpose. As you begin the journey, remember, communication is not just leadership skills. It's a leadership in action. Whether you're giving a keynote, whether you're writing a strategy memo, or whether you're having one-to-one conversation, every interaction is an opportunity to make you lead. So let me encourage students from this LSC school to lead with empathy, speak with intention, and engage with authenticity. Because in the world full of noise, it's the honest voice, that one which is rooted in the purpose, cuts through and creates the really setting of a change. So only the honest voice can be easily listened rather than all other noises which is around the world. Let me put several lines that build out the theme of authenticity in leadership. 1, authentic leaders don't pretend to have all the answers. Don't pretend that you know it all. Create space for others to go, make them contribute, and lead alongside them. Second, the authenticity, they lead not by casting shadows, but by shining a light on the strengths of those around them. Show them that you are there, but they are the one who are making a general decision. Third, authenticity invites connection. When leaders show up as a full imperfects themselves, they give others permission to do the same. And that's where really collaboration can start to begin and showing up. Four, in times of uncertainty, people don't look to the perfect leader. They look really to the honest one. So it's very important to be honest. The most enduring influence comes not from charisma, but from consistency. When the words of action and value align, that's where people see this is our true leader. Leadership is not about titles or decision. It's about presence. It's about purpose and ability to move people, not with power, but with clarity and conviction. A leader may give you a seat at the table, but it's your ability to listen, to communicate, and to act with integrity that earns you the influence. It's not about sitting there on the front chair and say, I'm the leader. The true leadership is measured not how much you control, but how much you have built a trust among the people you're leading. It's found that in quiet moments, when you choose empathy over ego, curiosity over certainty, and service over self, people will see you as their best leader. At this core, leadership is not a position, it's a responsibility to make others feel seen and heard and valued. So let's come to communication. So communication is not just a leadership skill, it's a leadership in action. Why I say that? Every conversation you make, every message, every moment you choose to listen or to speak, these are not side. Can you listen to me? Hello?
Yes, we can hear you.
Yes, sir. We can hear you. We can hear you, sir.
Because leadership lives in the clarity of your vision, the honesty of your words and consistency of your actions are very key. It's how you align the team, calm uncertainty, sparkling motivation, and build trust. And it's not just what you say, it's how you make people feel heard, respected, and understood. I'm coming from Tanzania, where it's an African country. Most people would like to be listened to. But if you're a leader and you go there, you just make a speech, off you go, or you don't even to listen to the issues. There are some of the issues, just by listening to them, they make people feel that you're part and parcel of them. Never, ever delegate communication. Live in it. So when done with the purpose and authenticity, it becomes most powerful force for you to change the society. In leadership, there are some cycles. There are some closed cycles, exclusionary, resistance to change, requires mixed strategy, courage, and intention. And I'm going to speak mostly, if you look at it into political cycles, most of the African countries, I heard my brother from Nigeria and others, you see the leadership, they've created their own cycle for others not to enter into. So there's a certain ways for new people, newcomers, to trying and breaking the cycles. When you want to break a cycle to join in, there are several rules which you must really, really play part. But the basic one is honesty. Because the leadership becomes a closed loop. Same voices are heard, patterns are repeated, same kinds of people sit around on the table. So the second to know you and to see you, you must at least If you're not innovative, then the best game to do is to become honesty. So here are some tips of how you can break the cycle. First, you must know the cycle and recognize unspoken norms, biases, and power and structure on that cycle. See how those barriers, either if what breaks you from breaking is a race, is it a gender, is it a background, or it's simply who knows who. We must be willing to see them clearly before we can change them. So before you join into the leadership cycle, excuse me, you may be good, you may have all what I've said before, but they are in Africa, I'm speaking mostly in Africa, we have cycles of leadership which needs to be broken. So first you must identify what really pushes you out of that cycle. If it's a race, then you need to pray around it. If it's a gender, if it's a background of that, the history of that system, for instance, myself, it's a party. The way I joined my ruling party, I knew where to penetrate and to break the cycle. So if it's who knows who, you find and you penetrate. That's one. Second, instead of shrinking the table, when you go to that cycle, try to expand the table. Don't try to rearrange for those people who are already there. Because sometimes you join the cycle and then you're trying to remove people who are there. It may cost you. So the leadership welcomes the difference, the discomfort, and also try to expand. Create as if you are an expansion member, that because you're in, you're joining others. And then slowly you can bring your changes. Third, speak up. Even if it's uncomfortable, you means take the hard questions, speak up. You may see some voices which are missing in that cycle. Take an opportunity to speak up on behalf of them. You'll be heard. Silence and maintaining the status quo sometimes is not good. So you may be joining the cycle and failing. The fourth, identify who is the sponsor and who are the mentors on that cycle. Then make sure you play part to know them and know their skills, and also take some of their skills. Fifth, redefine what leadership looks like in that cycle. It's not about charisma. It's not about credential. It's not about conformity. It's about authenticity, purpose, and impact. Use that to influence the cycle. So for this cycle, there are very key important items. They're just 5. There can be many. I know some of you have gone through these studies. There can be many. But let me talk on why leaders fail. You've accumulated, you've got the job, you become a leader, and why do you fail? The failure does not happen overnight. It's usually small missteps, overlooked habits, deep-rooted patterns that goes unchecked. You keep on leaving them behind. Some of the common leaders, common failures are: 1, losing self-awareness. When leaders stop reflecting and stop growing, arrogance growing into them, unchecked ego, belief, they always create blind spots. Leadership without self-awareness quickly turns into leadership without direction. So it's number 1, which kicks you out and become a failure. Second, there are some leaders who are confusing control with influence. You know, most leaders trying to micromanage or dictate every outcome. This sometimes erodes the trust. It pushes good people away. You must always inspire and don't command them. They are human beings, and most of them, they don't like to be commanded upon. Third, failing to communicate. This is our school where it comes most important here. Leaders who don't communicate clearly, consistently, or authentically create confusion, and the distance. Silence breeds uncertainty. Words always shape the culture. Communication breaks down some of the unknown falters, and this helps people to be good leaders. The fourth, which makes leaders fail, is ignoring people. Most leaders, they don't know that people matters most people whom you lead matters most. And adding more person to trust you is the powerful way of becoming a good leader all around. So never ever ignore people. The fifth, which makes leaders fail, is resisting change. This has been common in most of the world leaders. You could see some of them, they started very good. And I'll take an example of African nations, where some of the leaders have been so good in bringing the nation where it is, but they are refusing to change. At the end, they become enemies of the people. So always a leader has to be able and ready to change. The sixth one, which is key important, avoiding difficult conversation. Tough conversation about performance, accountability, and inclusion or conflict are often ones that define the leader. If you're trying to avoid them, you're trying to create on the harmony corner, you hide yourself in the corner, you're losing completely your leadership. It will take a very short time, you'll be out of the system. The seventh, which is need learning, is called leading without vision. Some leaders just go in and they start running around without any vision. This will take a very short period of time before people knows that you're nobody. Eighth is neglecting their own growth. Sometimes people start learning. One of the biggest failure in most of Can you hear me?
Yes, now we can. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Saying that neglecting their own growth. Leadership, most of the leaders, they stop learning. You need to learn. The truth is, leaders don't fail because they are bad. It's just because they have abandoned the key cause. Now, conclusively, I have some few points to share for the students and everybody. The great leadership communication is about talking more. It's about connecting deeply. It's about listening actively, and it's about speaking with purpose. There are some framework, the best way to communicate. And I'll give you a few. I know there are good scholars here, can add more. One is communicate with clarity. Be clear, not clever. Be clear, not clever. Ambiguity creates confusion and drains momentum. Always say what you mean what you say. Say what you mean what you say. And avoid jargon that hides meaning instead of revealing it. And the good tip about it is before speaking or writing, ask, what do I want people to know, feel, or do? Don't just go. Ask yourself. The second tip is lead with listening, the double L. The CC and the double L. Lead with listening. The best communication are often best listeners. When people feel heard, they feel valued and build trust. Listening also gives leaders the insight they need to respond to the empathy and intelligence. Always, the tip to this, practice listening to understand, not listening to reply. There are some leaders, when somebody started to speak, he started responding immediately. Third, speak with authenticity. People don't follow perfection, they follow the truth. Share your vision, your challenges, even your uncertainties with honesty. Authenticity builds connection, and the connection builds credibility. Always let your value show. Something matters to you, show it all. The fourth, repeat what matters. It's time to change uncertainty. Repetition is a leadership tool. Important messages need to be heard multiple times in a different ways. Spoken, written, modeled, reinforced. So people, they adapt it. The adaptation is kind of slow, so you need to repeat it if you want to deliver a key message. And it should be visible, memorable, and consistent. The fifth is tailor your message. One message does not fit all. And this is most of the biggest mistake people do. When you go to a presentation, you think everybody will understand you. No. The great leaders adapt how they communicate, depending on who they are speaking to, whether it's individual, teams, or the whole organization. Always, before you go there, ask yourself, what does this person or group care about most right now? And touch that what they care most. The sixth one is invite the dialogue, not just deliver a message. We have speeches, people communication in a monologue. Communication isn't a monologue, it's a relationship. Create space for feedback, questions, honest conversations. I'm trying to do monologue here, don't take me wrong, but I'll invite questions. Always end the meeting or message with what you thought or what is missing. The last, which is it. Consistency between words and action in the bedrock of the trust. So if you're a leader, don't speak what you don't do. Remember your message. People watch how you lead more than listen what you say. In short, the best leaders communicate with clarity, authenticity, empathy, and intent. Because leadership isn't just a soft skill, it's a force multiplier. So wherever you communicate, take a key dip to be sure that this is clear, it's authentic, and it's got good intent to the people. Thank you very much for your time. I hope I'll spend my 15, 20 minutes right. And if there's anything, I'm ready to listen to what you're going to invite me to say or to speak about.
Thank you so much for sharing. That was amazing. Just loved every single point that you said, especially with the fact that authentic leaders don't pretend they have all the answers. And that's true. It's all about the humility and trying to bring everyone together and embracing like everyone's insights, right? And everyone's perspectives and learning from each other. So that's a very key point that you brought up. And yes, definitely for self-awareness. And I think this is something that I loved how you pointed that out as well. And I wanted to also talk about that, how it's very important to understand how you show up, right? As a leader first. And are you leading with empathy and understanding where our strengths are and our shortcomings are, right? So making sure we have them ready to have those difficult conversations, because a lot of people do avoid those. And understanding that those are the ones that really, it kind of brings us out of our comfort zone, but it's very necessary to kind of form a proper true leader, right? So thank you so much. Such a powerful presentation. Obviously, the audience loves every one of you. So thank you so much for joining, and honored to have all of you on this panel. Welcome. So next, I want to have a panel discussion. So leading with voice, vision, and values. So one or more of our anticipated sessions. So joined by two powerhouses whose careers have touched lives globally. So one is Mr. Vangelis. Thank you so much for joining again. So global business consultant, author, and leadership mentor. And of course, welcome Dr. Simli Mukherjee, so global icon, social impact leader, and green beauty queen. So we'd love to have an intro about you, Dr. Simli, for just a few minutes before we dive into the panel discussion. Go ahead.
Hi, greetings to everyone. It's such a pleasure to meet all of you. Thank you very much to give us space among all, because of the reason is that I always try to, that's my mission and vision in life, to inspire and empower millions through my visionary thoughts and where I reach today. Today's topic is on leadership communication, no matter what it is. But on every session, what I always believe is that let's touch down from our own experiences. Because if you really ask me, I have come to the level from no one to someone today. As a green passionpreneur right from my childhood, making my own skin and hair care products, that was my journey, which started. As a plant biologist, I turned myself to be a global leader, luminaire across the globe, over 900. Of course, I mean, almost I'm going to touch about 1,000 accolades across the globe as a global icon. It hasn't been an easy journey though, but no matter what it is, I always form up my life saying two things: your mission and your vision. And top it up with your confidence, integrity, honesty, trust, authenticity. And no matter who you are, where you are, in what part of the world you are, in what situation you are, consistency, dedication, determination is all is needed. No matter in which field we are talking about, but this is all overall, I can say. And today I'm totally blessed. And, I have been featured on New York's publication as a top and the most influential woman shaping the future. So I am ready to shape the future, no matter as a leader or a mentor, because no matter who we are, we have to dive into ourselves. And that's the way I started my journey, facing challenges still. You won't believe. Journey is not that smooth. Every day is challenge and every day is coming out, facing those challenges, and those challenges becomes my accomplishments with the blessings whichever I get around the globe. And today I got the opportunity to be here on this, platform. And also I think all of you know I have been on the cover page of True Leaders magazine as well. It has been always a blessed journey of mine to get featured if I'm able to inspire and empower millions on any topic. So I would rather say leadership is not about any accomplishment or titles. I would rather put it that way. First, try to be a leader of yourself. That means self awareness, self respect, who you are, and how motivated. Be inspired to inspire others, be empowered to empower others. That should be the tool to communicate. Communication is, it's just not, saying statement and conversation, connections. No, there are much more bundle of things which comes on the table. Even if you trip or you are not confident, but your posture, your confidence, navigating, your eye contact, your body language can speak. Sometimes silence works and speaks better. So, none other than that, I do not know how much time I do have, but I can go on and on and on. Like I always believe, being titled as unstoppable, I've never learned to pause, but the only time I pause and look back is how much I have traveled. And today I got an opportunity to be here sharing my insightful thoughts, if it stands to inspire all over here, along with the students, everyone across. I stand to achieve as my mission moving forward in life. Stay always blessed. My smile is my confidence, which is contagious, and that's what I bring onto the table. The first thing of leadership: learn to smile and carry your confidence. That leads you a long way. Thank you very much. Blessed.
Wow, thank you so much. And yes, I love your presence. I love your energy, and the stage is lit on fire now. So, so honored to be on a stage of all three of you. Yes, love the vibrant energy. We have a beacon of inspiration, influence. So, and love the wall. All the congrats to all the accolades, and you deserve every one of it. So, amazing. I love this. So, love to get into a panel discussion, learn more about you and yeah, your mission and vision. So I'm going to kind of moderate some questions for each, both Vangelis and Simli. So for Vangelis, so how would you define a compelling vision, and how did you find yours?
Well, if you look at the fact that a business basically is a reflection of the people that are running the business, and that means that, there's a phrase that we just heard, self leadership. That really took a big shift in my thinking about 10, 12 years ago, because I started to realize, which self am I leading? Am I leading the self that others expect me to be? Or am I leading my authentic self? And if you think about that in the business world, I used to work at IBM back in the 70s and 80s. And one time we had a meeting at a customer, and the customer said, I wish you guys would stop reacting to the competition and start talking to us. And that just fits so perfect, because am I living my life based on the external expectations, reacting to the competition, reacting to what people say? Or am I actually living me? So a compelling vision first starts with, which vision do I have? Is it mine? What am I really offering? Am I offering me, or a mask of me, a false identity of me? Are you really speaking with me? Who's communicating with you right now? Me? Or something you want me to be? Does that make sense? So that's, to me, like the first piece of the vision. What vision is it?
Amazing. Yes, yes, absolutely. So leading from a place of authenticity is the number one. It's really about what identity you're bringing to the table. So sometimes, we can wear a mask because of external validation. Like, this is what we're supposed to do, but is this the right thing to do? And when you're bringing your true self, and like just kind of being like, yeah, this is me, this is me, this is my values, my strengths. You really know yourself inside and out, and you kind of share that gifts, that's where true leadership starts from. So absolutely. And that's where the vision starts from, right? I love how you said you're not leading from another person's vision. This is your vision, and that's what you're meant to do. So thank you so much. Love the answer. This is amazing. Let's go to Dr. Simli Mukta. So the next question for you is, what does leading with your voice mean to you, and in today's world especially?
That's so true and so close to my heart, because I believe, like I mentioned, that your voice is your confidence, no matter who you are. And if you are willing to step out, even if you are not ready, sometimes, I've seen myself, like with my own experience, like I mentioned, it was a time that I was not being ready. Oh my God, how do I speak? Oh no, I can't. I mean, those kind of tripping here and there. And then that was a mirror exercise I used to do and practice myself. That means, like I mentioned, determination, no matter, and just exit from what is happening in and around. I mean, I'm not saying that you needn't have to be updated what's happening around. You need to be conscious as a leader. You need to be conscious and need to be up to date. But that should not distract your voice, because your voice is your inner voice with authenticity. And in every session, every good things needs to be repeated. Not that we are bringing that, hey, she is just bringing the same topic again, same words, same phrases again and again, because sometimes the brain needs to capture those, and it becomes here to the mind, because everything is all relating to your mind. So when your mind is ready, your vision is ready, your inner voice is ready, you are voicing it out, and voicing with your confidence, with your integrity, with your authenticity, and with a lot of humble and gratitude. It's not a commanding tone, because that is the first step. People in and around, even if your voice doesn't fit into the topic, but people are tuning in and hearing you out because of that engagement which brings, and that closeness with any of your word which you speak. That is your voice. And always top it up with humbleness and with a smile. So every voice, when it is honest, trust, inner voice, sometimes miracles on the meeting table, sometimes in the brainstorming and all, I will rather put it in as a closing, concluding statement of mine, is that sometimes some words becomes meaningful and the meeting is being successful because of that sudden inner voice which comes out. So don't let your inner voice being hidden inside. Amplify your voice, and your voice can make the difference.
I love that. Oh my goodness, love your energy. And yes, inner voice with confidence, right? Because it definitely can make a difference. Just like one word or just a smile. And I know someone in the comment section audience said that. It's just her smiles are confident. So I love that. And yeah, so that uniqueness, right? Bring your unique value to the table. Everyone's unique in some way or form. And we need to embrace that. We need to cherish that, love ourselves. Self-love is a huge aspect of it. And I see that in you, Simile, so amazing. And of course, humility and gratitude. I practice this every day, just, being grateful to be alive or be part of this community right now, that I got this opportunity from Shigun. Even now I feel excited. I have that energy to be here around all of you. So thank you so much. Love it. Love the power in this room. Awesome. So next to Evangelist. Okay. So in high stakes environments, how do you stay anchored to your values?
A good question that I started asking myself a while back was, do I believe what I believe? Because if my beliefs were programmed into me and I really wasn't aligned with it, I can't be anchored. I love that word, Veena. I can't be anchored to something that I'm not quite convinced of, right? Yeah. Because if someone can convince you of this, then someone can convince you out. But if you really truly believe what you believe, and what does that take? Well, that takes curiosity. I remember I was 9 years old, and my mom said, don't go out in the cold without a coat, you'll catch the flu. I said, okay, cold, coat, flu, good. So then in the summer, I got the flu. And I thought, she doesn't know what she's talking about.